Great to see you. Thanks for taking a little bit of time. Thank you for joining me today. Really excited to have you on this podcast, if you will, video cast. We're really excited to get to know you, get to know your company, Tamara. I'm going to welcome in the audience. Thank you for joining. I'm Rajat Bhargava. I'm co-founder and CEO of JumpCloud, and we're super excited to do these video sessions where we talk a little bit about digital and identity transformation. We always say at JumpCloud, one of the most important things that an IT organization does is connect people to their IT resources, help make them productive. And we also know that doing that is not easy for IT organizations. So kind of the conversation today is really talking about best practices, talking about the lessons learned and sage advice from folks like you. And so let's get started. Let's get kicked off. Renjith, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about your organization. Tell us a little bit about how you got there and what your role entails. So just give us a little bit of background on where you're at.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rajat. First of all, thank you for having me here. My name is Renjith Radhakrishnan, and I am the IT Business Solutions Manager at Tamara. I have been part of Tamara for about the last 1.5 years. My role is centered around setting up a modern, efficient, and cost-effective IT workspace infrastructure tailored to the needs of our global remote workforce. This includes managing basically our IT infrastructure, implementing IT policies and procedures, and providing the IT support for our staff. Tamara in itself is a leading buy now, pay later organization, and we are focused on providing a hassle-free, innovative, and affordable payment solution for our customers shopping both online and in store. Our team comprises of about 450 professionals, still growing, distributed across the globe. At Tamara, our mission is to make shopping more accessible and affordable for everyone. So basically, when I joined this company, we only had about 110 employees, but in an year or so, we have grown from that number to 450 people, and still the hiring is in fire.
That's awesome. It's a great business. And tell us where you're located, right? Where you're physically located.
Yeah, I am physically located in Dubai, in United Arab Emirates, but the business itself is focused on the Middle East region as a whole. Our core focus is on KSA market, and we are now expanding to the other regions such as UAE or Kuwait, Bahrain, and basically the Middle East, for example.
Got it. Okay, cool. So tell us, technologies can always be sort of a game changer for any organization if used effectively and really woven into the fabric of the company. What's your vision for the technology organization, and what's the role that it plays for your business in it being successful?
Our technical organization vision is to act as strategic architects of our business growth, right? We aim to grow or drive business objectives through IT solutions that are innovative, secure, and efficient. We're not just a support function, as most of the other people say that IT is mostly a support function, isn't it? But we are actually an integral part of the business, influencing how we grow and adopt in this fast-paced digital economy. One of the key ways that we support business is by managing the internal IT staff infrastructure. This includes providing employees with devices, softwares, and accesses that they need to do their jobs. We also manage IT security of our systems and data. By ensuring that our IT infrastructure is secure and efficient, we help to protect our businesses from cyber attacks and things like data breaches and stuff like that. I mean, this allows the rest of the people to focus on our core business activities and to grow our business itself. We provide employees with the latest devices, software, so that they can be productive and efficient. We provide employees with secure access to the systems and data so that they can work safely and securely from anywhere. I mean, no matter whether it is a coffee shop or is a very less secure Wi-Fi network, we manage the IT infrastructure in a very cost-effective way so that we can save money and focus on our core business activities as well.
Yeah, I mean, historically, that's true, right? IT has been sort of like a support function, if you will, or even maybe they call it a cost center. But I think times have changed, right? I mean, every organization wants to be more productive. They want to be more profitable, more successful. And technology is obviously a huge way to do that. And so I think the world has changed. Technology organizations are driving most organizations now versus they're sort of, being pulled along. They're at the forefront. And now, obviously, we're going to get into fun stuff in the future in a second, but with AI and all the sort of new technology coming out, it should even be more, more important for technology organizations to kind of lead the way for almost any type of company.
Agreed completely, because this is something that we have been hearing for a long time, right? IT is basically a support function, and I used to hear that since up until the COVID thing came in, right? And when the COVID-19 came, IT turned from a support function into a proper business function, right? They needed IT to run a business, otherwise, basically nothing would work. I mean, people would be always stuck at their homes with no access to their resources. So that's how I think we have evolved from being a support function into a business function in itself.
That's really interesting. I hadn't thought about whether, COVID was sort of the tipping point of when people change their mind of,
Exactly.
what technology, but yeah, you're probably right. That's a great sort of way to think about it. Let's shift gears just a little bit. So that's your vision for your company, and it's so important that technology makes your team productive and successful. When did you start looking at JumpCloud? What was sort of the connection to your vision? And tell us a little bit about how JumpCloud is making an impact for your organization.
Right. So we started looking for a solution in 2022. Soon after I joined this company. So when we began evaluating JumpCloud, we were looking for a solution that could, complement and help achieve our vision. JumpCloud, with its cloud-based directory platform and its ability to manage all IT assets, including our users, devices, and applications, was impressive. At the first look itself, I have heard about JumpCloud in my previous companies about 5-6 years ago, but I really got a chance of exploring the entire solution when I was really looking for one, right? In the previous situation, we had Windows servers, we had all those Active Directories in place, but nothing was, as comparable to JumpCloud in terms of the cloud-based offerings that you guys were providing. And one unique advantage we found in JumpCloud was its seamless cross-device compatibility, which doesn't require a third-party tool. I've told this to at least 20 people so far.
Thank you.
The thing is, I am an IT professional since 14 years, right? So I've been working right when you had the computers and laptops and all those cables running around here and there. And with multiple systems, you need to have one tool for managing Windows systems, one tool for managing Mac systems, and another tool for managing, probably Linux and, all the other systems which is out there. But with JumpCloud, we are able to manage the entire workforce that we have. Everyone who is working remotely more effectively, and has brought us closer to realizing our vision of a secure and agile IT infrastructure. So that's how JumpCloud had fit into our IT infrastructure so far.
Yeah, I like it. Secure, agile infrastructure. So that really makes sense. We call it sort of secure, frictionless access, but sort of very similar. But I like how you've put it. So let's keep going with this a little bit. You've been super gracious with your feedback on what we can do and kind of the future. Where do you feel like an IT platform like JumpCloud, if we're able to help manage kind of your infrastructure, what else would you like to see in the product? I know you and I've talked about a few different things, but what's sort of top of your mind, top of your list that you would love to see in the platform over time?
Okay, probably if I start listing it, it's going to be longer, but I'll try to minimize.
Yeah, maybe encapsulate the view, right?
Let me split into two, right? My first wish would be for JumpCloud to develop an automated IT provisioning solution, which basically means, I know there is something for Mac which is called a zero-touch enrollment, which we are using actively, but I would love to find something similar for all the other operating systems as well, especially for the Windows users.
That's coming. That's coming very soon. So yeah,
I'm actually waiting for it. Believe me, I've been waiting. I'm just waiting for this to happen so that my IT team doesn't feel this much of pressure, because we have a pile of laptops sitting in our office waiting to be configured by our engineers, and that takes a lot of time for them. But yeah, it all makes sense when you install the JumpCloud agent. It is done, and the rest of the things get installed automatically through your software push. But still, that time that we spend on opening and configuring the laptop is something that I would avoid in the future. And secondly, I would like to see a more comprehensive analytics solutions, probably. That is to basically give us visibility into system performance, user behaviors. I know probably I'll be asking a lot more about the security and so what it helps us to basically proactively foresee and address potential IT issues. like say, for example, making data-driven decisions and maintaining high levels of efficiency and security. That's what we are looking at, right? So if JumpCloud, if somebody is coming and tell me that, oh, my system performance is going down, instead of them coming and telling me that this is happening, I could probably look at that one and say, hey, this guy's system's performance is being affected. Let's go and proactively solve that problem. And that's the kind of second thing that I would love to see.
And I think you're going to see that pretty soon too. So
amazing,
I think your wish list,
my wishes are coming
covered. That's great. Yeah, that's an important one for us. I mean, obviously, you've hit the nail on the head. I mean, having a cross-platform device management solution and making sure those devices are secure, safe, performant is super important. And especially when you think about the role that devices play in security and in the process of accessing things, right? I mean, devices are the conduit to how we access things. So it's really important for JumpCloud to make sure that we, are able to protect and make sure that we have full knowledge and understanding of those devices. So yeah, absolutely. Both those things are great. And obviously on the Windows zero touch provisioning side, that's a super important one. I think, given the pandemic, having the ability to, go out there and just drop ship laptops out to, your customer or your end users, really, your customers are really your end users in a lot of ways, but being able to do that is super important, much more efficient, better for everybody. So yeah, both of those are really great asks. And I think, we'll be able to solve those here in the short term for you and for all the other organizations out there. So, okay, well, let's switch gears. Last question, and just kind of a fun one. What do you see is going to happen in the industry in 10 years? So I know, like, we can kind of tell a couple of years. Sometimes we can maybe make some stuff up for a longer term, but 10 years is pretty hard to imagine. What do you think? What do you think technology organizations are going to look like in 10 years? What's your job going to look like in 10 years? What's sort of IT or the technology organization going to be?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. My view might probably be not right, but for me, I see a significant fusion of actually business and technology over the next decade. Basically, with AI, machine learning, IoT, and all those advanced analytics will continue to reshape our industries, propelling businesses towards extensive automation and all data-driven decision making, which is already happening. I'm happy to see that. But I also see that there'll be essential catalysts for growth, providing businesses with the tools and insights they need to adopt, innovate, and thrive in the ever-evolving market landscape. Probably they'll not just support, but people like the IT people would probably drive business innovations. And I also foresee a continued trend towards remote and flexible work models. We have already started seeing that in COVID-19, but I think in the next 10 years, we would not have that 100% office jobs anymore. Probably, we'll only have AI and, probably robots helping people do their jobs. But I also see that will present a lot of, challenges to the businesses as well, in terms of security and, making sure that things go in the way that they want to. And that's one of the challenges that I see. This will require basically businesses to invest and that can help employees collaborate and communicate effectively. It will also require businesses to create a culture of trust and flexibility. I know it is happening. It's a very big shift, but I honestly think in 10 years we won't have a lot of 100% offices in this world. It will be probably either remote or hybrid infrastructures across the world.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine, right? It's so hard to tell, like you said. But what I think is interesting that you said that, the whole AI side of things, where we're going to have people, these AI bots or whatever you want to call them, helping us, and the security of that and the management of that is all going to have to happen too, right? And so I think there's going to be a whole new generation of companies that are going to get developed that will help us, make sure that, we have control over the AI, it's safe, it's secure, other people can't impact it. So, all those things are going to be, pretty interesting. But yeah, who knows where it's going? It's definitely an exciting time in technology for sure. So, well, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time. Thanks for supporting us. And, super excited to, continue on the journey with you and hopefully get to see you again in Dubai here soon.
Definitely. Pleasure is mine. Thank you very much, Rajat.
Okay, take care.
You too. Bye-bye.